Ladies and gentlemen, get ready. As the internet recently saw a degree of petty cruelty that makes waiting to exhale appears to be therapeutic. Session. What transpires when a legendary rapper, a boxer who has nothing left to lose, believed she could avoid a guy in karma? All are caught in the crossfire of treachery. Go live at the exact moment you get the culture heard about the leak. And it was horrible last night, baby. Yes, Bronx. The unimaginable happened. Remy Ma, lyrical, seasoned, and regal with no chill, an atomic bomb was just detonated. Instead of a diss tune on Claressa Shields' not a dubious subtweet, but a purported disclosure of intimate graphic images starring Claressa and an extremely "you guys aren't even called Papoose." Seen them live on Live Response, that is humiliating. To the public, was it justice or retaliation? Total cyber warfare masquerading as one thing is certain. Transparency isn't about a romantic triangle anymore. Is the undressing of reputations in public allegiance, and the alleged secrets welcome to die in the group conversation. Where the tea burns is where gossip spills. The aftermath, baby, and the realities cut. Hey ladies, let's get dirty and gentlemen, that just become very dirty. With a scandal so explosive that it ought to have a hazmat warning for the Bronx, the internet has been exploded by Remy Ma. Once more. She didn't just clap, she blasted the shrapnel back. Fell straight upon Claressa Shields, the so-called boxing sweetheart of America, who is currently neck-deep in the type of digital catastrophe that cannot be prevented by a VPN, protects her. From what precisely transpired? Why is Papoose crying into space? Are they pulling Claressa through the trenches on social media like yesterday's? Here's the scenario with trendy garbage. Rumor has it that unfiltered Remy Ma leaked explicit, unaltered, and unquestionably authentic images of Claressa's protective gear with another man who isn't only a thirst trap SFW and full body. Flirtatious gym pic. Papoose's energy was not. Posted, removed, and uploaded a screenshot of 1,000 times before someone was able to defamation. And if you believe this, oh my sweetie, is it just petty retaliation? This is calculated, personal, and is a love triangle's last round. Therefore disturbed. It gives the impression that Zeus Network, he noticed the pictures. PBS Kids Papoose. Purportedly in real time while recording a podcast, and one insider said that they had to walk off in the middle of swallowing back tears. Greetings from Gossip Spill vibe once again. Biblical secrets are receipts, borrowed time as well. As if the tea is hot. Hold on tight, this isn't ours. Let's begin with the cremation, which is a roast. First, let's review our thoughts. We were acquainted with rap heavyweight Remy Ma. The first queen of clapbacks is a lady who kept a guy from escaping the agony of incarceration, and Papoose, the devoted king and paparazzi devoted to a fault steady. Culture peaceful. The type of man who composed poetry about his woman on the internet made fun of him for dressing alike. Next came Olympic gold for Claressa Shields, undisputed boxing champion and medalist. Ferocious, dazzling, laser-focused. But in between the press conferences and punching bags, Sis discovered herself reportedly entwined with when the first storm struck. There was confusion. IG Live screenshot exposés from months ago, vocals with a hint of bass to Papoose-like sound. It painted a terrible and disorganized image of infidelity, heartbreak in the Bronx, and treachery. But this recent disclosure just removed the drama from plot twist in season 1 to the level of the finale. Let's establish the scene. Destruction of Remy at 1:12 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, no warning. No Makeup Hoodie by Mago's Live, a woman's straight feelings, who arrived at Let's Clear the Air by destroying the caption. Let's get together as she wants to play filthy. More than 80,000 unclean people participated. Comment sections lasting less than 10 minutes filled with eyes. Not once more. And Papa, if you need assistance, Remy begins. Blink twice. Speaking quietly but deadly, no shouting, no theatrics, are merely facts with a poisonous twist. remained. Silent, showed respect, and allowed them to chuckle. But you're playing in I look like a cleaned-up housewife. Whereas this chick is spreading beyond just rumors, she stated that she wants to appear unconcerned, which is absurd. I'm betting that she won't be disturbed when these images appear on the timeline. And then Remy turns a folder on her laptop's camera screen. CS not so sweet. Both inside and out for pictures purportedly showing Claressa Shields completely naked, extracted from what seems to be faceless mirror at an upscale hotel filters. No justifications, and most definitely no now that Papoose is in the picture. Let's be very evidently, these pictures weren't posted for very long. Remy blurred enough to stay out of trouble with the law. Taken, but only enough was left to make everyone was certain that the single photograph was authentic. Had a chain in it, and another had a timestamp. The backdrop that fans instantly recognized as a piece of signature tone Big Drip Mathers is the owner of an exec of low-key music with a high-key history of destroying athletes, followed by, I suppose, Remy dropped the hammer, Pap. Not enough. You guys are crazy out here. Supporting a woman who attracted more guys more behind her than a Green Awards show. Twitter exploded after someone tweeted Remy Ma spilled tea, but she didn't do it. Another user tweeted, "That's battery acid. Mere reflection by itself alone." Resulted in Nike Blink sponsorship for Claressa. If and unfortunate, you're removing her folder. In just 1 hour, Papoose erased all Claressa's Instagram page photo, including that embarrassing boxing lesson post in which he referred to her as his piece. Sir, that article recently published naked photos of in the backdrop is the chain of another man. The second leak then occurred. Yes, because for gossip, one controversy is insufficient. An anonymous person, DMDA, spill vibe rumors, blog a screen capture of a fight night Queens is the group chat name. Claressa's internal communications with 2 other ladies are said to have been her trainer and a Claressa. The media stylist in one text says, "Pap still believes that we are exclusive. I told Tone I would pull a loudly sobbing face up once. Again following the Vegas wine, just must keep the man composed till then. Phew." The story is amazing at this point. Fans who had previously rode were utterly flipped. Regarding Claressa, I wrote, "I was #Team GW, yet schism is going forward, like the future. Boxing gloves." Even accounts that were authenticated, one celebrity stylist commented, writing, "It's those who are always yelling loyalty have had speed dial backup rosters." But hold on, things become complicated because keep that in mind. Papoose's podcast was intended to air on Bars and Balance. The hosts did indeed Golov amid the commotion to claim that he walked off set in the middle of the show when someone slid the screenshots that were leaked on Air One. According to the presenter, Pap gazed at the phone for nothing for around 15 seconds, then simply got up, left, and never returned. And we must not overlook the levels in this case. Papoose, the man who restrained Remy, was reportedly cheated on while incarcerated by his purported sidewoman, whom he might divorce his wife, for whom he is currently being revealed by the same wife. This isn't simply said, this is Timberland's version of karma. Using a loudspeaker, but we're not finished yet. Due to claims made by Claressa's team, contacted Instagram to have the live citing invasions of privacy and targeted abuse. But at that time, the screenshots had previously gone viral, such as wildfire throughout Reddit X discussions, and from the shade room to each burning blog. In the meanwhile, Remy uploaded a petty pink news. Next up is a new narrative with a blank screen. Use iCloud's comment area at any time. One fan remarked, "She left, ruining Remy transformed the breadcrumbs." Into another remarked, "This is the bakery. It's the most outrageous PR catastrophe since Tristan." Public cheating was created by Thompson. And suddenly, what began as a disorganized love triangle became a 4-alarm situation. Claressa's hot pants down and career fires both literally and emotionally. But oh yeah, there's more, because part 2, here's where we enter the investigators using the iMessages that were released. Given the controversy that surrounds this tale, from treachery in the bedroom to the boardroom, stay with me. Harm, Part 2 is on the way. Let's be clear, this was not the next step. Typical Instagram live drama, but this wasn't a furious tirade, a plea for influence, or a digital. This was a complete tactical disaster. With Remy Ma serving as the commander in charge. Screenshots that determined the timing, the damage leaking into the bank is terrible. Reputations, brand contracts, and accounts that might never get better. Keep in mind, the group chat leak from Fight Night Queens, indeed. It turns out that the tip wasn't even that of the iceberg due to a phony, but an iMessage thread that is horrifyingly realistic, apparently decreased immediately following this occasion. Between Claressa and an individual with the label solely as Hotel D in Clarissa's letters claims, "He thinks I'm on a red. I'm practically 2 stories above LA. I'm not even hiding anymore with him and Dre." Yes, you heard correctly, Dre is thought to be Coach Dryan Williams, an ex-MMA competitor. Became a strength trainer who has been spotted training with Papoose and Claressa. Consequently, if this is accurate, Claressa was purportedly being flown away by one guy while working covertly in a hotel above the man in a suite with another, who believed they were still together. It's a feast of treachery and affection. And admirers are consuming it as if it were after their final dinner. Here is where the Reddit and Twitter investigators arrived. Someone is on Adderall, like FBI. INTERNs made a timeline in Google Docs of each Claressa has been seen at hotels since they matched Instagram stories in February. Gym selfies are mirrored on TikTok, okay? And even nail colors to demonstrate that she was Coach Dre, okay? And I was double dipping while amusing. Papoose, with a screenshot from Claressa, was seen at a private event in early March, Miami recovery retreat. On the precise Coach Dre's Instagram story revealed him that same day, on a patio, enjoying champagne with Thea. The same sofa cushions and wallpaper fans were shown in. Claressa's narrative as contrasting textiles as if they were on CSI. Then the audio message, "Oh yes," followed. Another unnamed insider disclosed. A 30-second audio clip purportedly from You may hear Claressa herself say, "Pap, I still believe that he is the only person I cry for. Allow him to believe that, as it causes him to feel helpful. Yet, when I'd like to relax, I go to places where there is actual pressure." Timeline entered a state of cardiac arrest. A widely shared tweet stated, "She's treating Pap like the coziness of a weighted blanket, but no chemistry." Another admirer commented, "She received a spouse as a trainer for her trauma, a side guy and her body for the vibes. She's constructing an entire starting pack in the interim." Papoose stayed nearly entirely quiet. He didn't tweet or post. However, followers discovered on his Spotify profile, suddenly, there's new, terrifying music showed up in his unpublished portion. The preview for Silenced by Loyalty is a snippet of him whispering a rap declaring, "I presented the world to a lady who shared fragments of her soul." That sentence was sufficient to bring down the internet. Even famous people began responding to Rage Henson and made a few cold, sobering remarks. Face on a single widely shared Ree's live video, a black square was posted by Charlemagne on his narrative and composed "Protect Papoose at all costs." Expenses, followed by the financial consequences by insiders at 10 a.m. the next day. They started to mutter that Claressa was stealthily removed from an expensive watch campaign that she was making fun of on social for weeks. Screenshots of the media circulated of her leaving their company's brand, a sports influencer blog that published according to a campaign insider. The team was worried about Claressa's capacity to stand for empowerment, and oh no, and the harm continued. There is a well-known brand of pre-workout that purportedly sent a gentle cease and desist to Claressa, who is being asked to halt by her squad. Labeling them "Until we learn more" indicates that 2 sponsorships have ended in less than. Who do you think started blogging after 24 hours? Once more, Remy Ma told a narrative first. Shows her entering a Los Angeles studio with "Tell your trainer to stay off." The caption reads, "My timeline." She then proceeded to an up-close selfie with no makeup and only feelings caption. "It's better, not bitter." When fans began to believe Remy was expecting a trash track but not directed straight at another rapper, the blogs of Claressa Shields ran with it. Right away, one post with the title "Remy getting ready to launch the biggest 16 bars in history, riddled with contempt." 600,000 views in under 2 hours. Then, boom, another burner account leak asserting that they were formerly an aide to Claressa shared a grainy picture of a labeled and diagnosed document. Indeed, the identical tone purportedly seen in she captioned the released naked photos. He signed this as soon as Vegas informed him she would destroy his label if he ever talked. Guess who's speaking right now? Deal? Nobody cared if that document was genuine or not, as the streets had already been purchased. Supporters started speculating that Claressa had 3 men, not just 1 or 2 are circling her while pretending to be Pap's ride in public or pass away at the very moment when it seemed the situation couldn't get much worse. A TikTok account was leaked via the Papoose clip. Shared what they said was a secret recording from the bars, cameras, and balance studio displaying Pat shortly after seeing the photographs that have been leaked. He looks at a phone and blinks a couple of times. Return it, then get up and leave. His mic can leave the scene, but the sound, everyone was crushed by the feeble microphone. Pap is picked up and says, "I gave up all for this, and she's out here." Twitter went viral with him at that point. One person wrote, "Watching Pat, and I lost it. Real-time process betrayal should be unlawful." He adored Remy, another person remarked. Claressa fooled him, and now he's moving around like a ghost. Emotional terrorism, followed by a third message, reached 2 million views in under 4 hours. It said Pap hasn't even posted a dinner about the leak. You can tell it's authentic that way. Let's now discuss Rhee's upcoming chest. She didn't share the screenshots she took, didn't affirm or refute any more information. She did, however, upload a video. Picture her strolling by a billboard for the boxing campaign of Clarice with the faces they place on walls. They aren't usually the ones to believe. You sense the strain changing. The popular discourse that previously made fun of Remy for losing her man had completely changed her mind. She was commended as a lady who avoided a bullet-riddled scandal and used surgery to exact retribution. Accuracy, but don't believe Claressa remained quiet throughout day and night. That she shared a single story dark post that night. Some folks leak some white text on screens. Some people lose when people lie. Fans were making an effort to be noisy, perplexed. Was that a threat or denial? Was she prepared to give a good clapback at last? Perhaps, but the harm had already been done. Her remarks were hurting her brand. Her most recent YouTube video was locked. Inundated with free Papoose and team enemies from the PR catastrophe, followed by the largest twist to date since the moment. The third portion begins. All that's released thus far might potentially become a courtroom controversy involving Remy taking it. Keep an eye out because, what? Because I was attempting to endure. This was devoted and sincere, and I suffered other losses. I trusted someone, but then I lost trust in love, who utilized me as a means of transportation. Otherwise, he stopped and said, "I don't know," to Remy. "Please let me know whether you will ever forgive me." I can now see how the item appeared. I apologize for the remarks, but it's too late. Overflowing fans and tears. Celebrities reposting. The entire community is supporting his recovery. Even Remy admitted it, but she didn't. She reposted a comment that she didn't like. As a tech narrative, a sentence from his video, "I just didn't realize that tranquility looked like you." In the meantime, it is poetry and suffering. At last, Claressa kind of broke her quiet. If she first uploaded a picture carousel after sliding her into the ring, slide her again. "Seeing a window with a blank third slide growth is ugly" is captioned in a black square. "Silence is survival, but regret is louder. I stated my position." The remarks were a "just apologize, bloodbath girl," and log "you're not being a victim when you created a hexagon by leaking the love triangle. Your expansion has casualties, ma'am." Lastly, because this story couldn't finish without a final scream or a VideoWay verified entertainment was rumored. The reporter said on Twitter, "Reports indicate a large Claressa Shields has been approached by the platform. It's the star of a brand new DOA series called Unquestionably Restoring the Brand. The program would follow her life after the scandal. Workouts and legal rehabilitation, though when the internet took off, everyone began yelling. In addition to the backstabbing, Hollywood continues to reward disorder. She struggled with love, loyalty, and heritage, but she's going to get a purse for the backstage areas. So let's describe our current location. Remy Ma, scheduled without trouble. And maybe recording a disc so poisonous it would need a papoose with a warning label is devastated. Pondering and gradually restoring the remnants of his public persona, Claressa, perhaps it protects the new villain on the internet. Perhaps opportunists are misinterpreted. Definitely scandalized and perhaps on television. But who is the true question? Really prevailed? Or was it Remy who grabbed her? A story back with a single lethal untruth. Was Papoose is at last realizing the truth? Ignored? Or was it Claressa? Imperfect, untidy, but still producing will let you choose the headlines and the money. Considering that ultimately, the only thing more widely shared than the receipts is responses. Such that the smoke is now scarcely cleared and the deadlines are continuously burning. We must inquire, where do we proceed? Is this the conclusion of a crooked triangle that never should have begun? Or is it only the start of another season of treachery on the internet? Broken bars and blurry nudity? Remy mullet Claressa Shields with the match. Brought the gas and stood in the papoose. The flames in the hopes that love would endure the burn. But the asterisk star is now leaked. The information is revealed and the tears are genuine. Who do you think did it? Remy went too far in disclosing personal images. To demonstrate a point, or was it too lengthy? Warning shot that was due to a lady who, Claressa, never played fairly. Truly in love? Or did she indulge allegiance as a public relations campaign and ought Pat to sit in the chair or be pardoned? He once pushed Remy into silence, heard the voice and seen the screenshots. Notes saw the decline of reputations in 4K, and we're giving you the microphone now. Please share your thoughts in the comments section. Claressa, Pap, Remy, or your team, let me mind my own business. Team. But continue viewing and hit the like button if at least once your jaw dropped to the ground. If you enjoy a mess, you should subscribe, must tidy up, and press that bell. Sincerely, this may be the end, but this is already typing the next controversy. The vibe of gossip spilling.